The Book of Revelation unveils a chilling prophecy, a figure emerging from the abyss wielding unimaginable suffering. This is Abaddon, the angel of the abyss, shrouded in mystery and dread. Abaddon's role in the apocalypse is undeniable, synonymous with destruction. Often conflated with Satan, Abaddon is an instrument of God's judgment. He is not a fallen angel, but exists within the divine order.
Abaddon's presence looms large in both the Old and New Testaments, often veiled in symbolism. In the Hebrew Bible, Abaddon is a synonym for the underworld, or the realm of the dead. Job describes Abaddon as a place of darkness and shadow.
Early references depict Abaddon as a realm of oblivion, beyond human comprehension. In Revelation, Abaddon emerges as an angel commanding a legion of locusts.
Revelation 9 offers a chilling glimpse into Abaddon's power during the end times. He is released from the abyss, his arrival heralded by a star falling from heaven. This fallen star is given the key to the bottomless pit, unleashing a plague upon the earth. Abaddon's locusts are unlike any earthly creature, their forms grotesque and their stings agonizing. They are given power to torment humanity for 5 months, a period of unimaginable suffering. This vivid imagery underscores Abaddon's role as an instrument of divine retribution. He is not a force of chaos or rebellion, but a servant carrying out God's judgment. This raises uncomfortable questions about the nature of God's justice and the boundaries of his mercy. How can a loving God unleash such horrors upon his creation? The answer, it seems, lies in the paradoxical nature of Abaddon himself.
Beyond the canonical texts of the Bible, Abaddon's presence reverberates in Gnostic writings, offering an alternative perspective on his origins and purpose. Gnosticism, a diverse religious movement that flourished alongside early Christianity, viewed the material world as inherently flawed, a creation of a lesser deity often referred to as the demiurge. In some Gnostic texts, Abaddon is linked to this flawed creation, depicted as an entity involved in the formation of the physical realm. Furthermore, certain Gnostic traditions associate Abaddon with the events surrounding Jesus' resurrection. They posit that Abaddon was tasked with guarding Jesus' tomb, but was ultimately powerless to prevent his resurrection. This interpretation paints Abaddon as a servant bound to a cosmic order that ultimately transcends his control, further complicating his role within the divine hierarchy. Section 5. The Creator and the Destroyer. These Gnostic interpretations, while diverging from the biblical narrative, highlight a crucial aspect of Abaddon's nature, his potential connection to both creation and destruction. If Abaddon played a role in shaping the material world, then his role as a destroyer takes on a new dimension. He becomes not only an agent of punishment, but also a force of transformation, purging the old to make way for the new. This duality is further reinforced by the etymology of Abaddon's name. Derived from the Hebrew word abad, meaning to destroy, Abaddon's very essence is intertwined with the concept of annihilation. Yet, destruction, in a cosmic sense, can also be interpreted as a necessary precursor to renewal. Just as a forest fire clears away deadwood to allow new growth, perhaps Abaddon's reign of terror serves a similar purpose on a grander scale.
Section 6. Place of Destruction, Harbinger of Doom. The blurring of boundaries between place and entity is central to understanding Abaddon. As we've seen, early biblical texts depict Abaddon primarily as a realm synonymous with the underworld or the abyss. This realm is described as a place of darkness, silence, and oblivion, where the dead reside and where the wicked are ultimately cast. However, Abaddon's personification in later texts, particularly in Revelation, adds another layer of complexity. No longer simply a destination, Abaddon becomes an active force, a harbinger of doom dispatched to unleash God's wrath. This dual nature, both place and entity, reinforces the all-encompassing reach of Abaddon's power, suggesting a dominion over both the physical and spiritual realms.
Section 7. Dual Nature, a Theological Paradox. Abaddon's dual nature presents a theological paradox, challenging conventional notions of good and evil, creation and destruction. How can an angel, a being of light, also embody such profound darkness? How can an instrument of God's will be associated with the abyss, a place seemingly antithetical to the divine? This paradox perhaps reflects the inherent complexities of the divine itself. If God is truly omnipotent and omnipresent, then surely he encompasses both the benevolent and the terrifying, the creative and the destructive. Abaddon, in this sense, becomes a manifestation of this duality, a reminder that God's power extends beyond human comprehension. The existence of Abaddon raises profound questions about the nature of divine justice. If God is a being of love and mercy, how do we reconcile this with the suffering inflicted by Abaddon at his command? Is this simply retribution for human sin, or is there a deeper, more unsettling purpose at play? Some theologians argue that Abaddon's actions, however horrific, ultimately serve a greater good. They suggest that the suffering he inflicts is a necessary catalyst for repentance and spiritual growth, a purging fire that purifies the world for a new era of peace and righteousness. Others, however, find this justification inadequate, struggling to reconcile the image of a loving God with the indiscriminate suffering unleashed by Abaddon.
Abaddon's influence extends beyond the confines of Judaism and Christianity, appearing in various forms across different religious traditions. In Islamic eschatology, for instance, a figure known as Israfel or Israfil is often associated with Abaddon. Israfil is an archangel tasked with blowing the trumpet that heralds the Day of Judgment, a role that mirrors Abaddon's function as a harbinger of the end times. Similarly, in Zoroastrianism, the ancient Persian religion, a demonic entity known as Astovidatu, shares similarities with Abaddon. Astovidatu is associated with death, decay, and the underworld, representing the forces of chaos and destruction that oppose the divine order. These parallels across different faiths underscore the universality of Abaddon's archetype, reflecting a primal human fear of the unknown and the destructive forces that lie beyond our control.
Abaddon's enduring presence in human consciousness is evident in his frequent appearances in art and literature. From medieval paintings depicting him as a monstrous demon to contemporary horror novels exploring his terrifying power, Abaddon continues to captivate and horrify audiences. In John Milton's epic poem Paradise Lost, Abaddon is depicted as a loyal lieutenant in Satan's army, highlighting his association with rebellion and the forces of darkness. In contrast, Fyodor Dostoevsky's novel Demons uses Abaddon as a metaphor for the nihilistic and destructive impulses that threaten to consume humanity. These diverse interpretations demonstrate the malleability of Abaddon's image, adapting to reflect the anxieties and preoccupations of different eras.
Abaddon remains an enigma, a figure shrouded in mystery and dread. He is both a place of destruction and a personified entity, a servant of God and a harbinger of doom. His existence challenges our understanding of the divine, forcing us to confront the uncomfortable possibility that even the most benevolent of deities may command forces of unimaginable terror. As we delve into the depths of biblical and extra-biblical texts, exploring the various interpretations of Abaddon across different cultures and throughout history, we are left with more questions than answers. Perhaps this is the true essence of Abaddon, a reflection of the unknowable, the terrifying and the ultimately uncontrollable forces that shape our universe and our destinies. Now